Hello, my name is Dr. Allison Ohms. I've spent more than 30 years working as a psychotherapist and more than 15 years integrating neuroscience, neurotechnology, frequency medicine, and applied psychophysiology into clinical practice. Most of my life, I thought of myself as a clinician, researcher, teacher, and someone who is deeply interested in human evolution and human transformation. As with a lot of people who fall into the role of entrepreneurship, it comes often before you even recognize it. I spent so many years thinking about solutions for issues that didn't have solutions, such as the subclinical issue population, people who go to many doctors don't find any solutions and often start feeling worse and worse, even though they're under good allopathic and traditional care. So I thought about what are the approaches, what are the underlying causes for some of these conditions, and how do we start changing the paradigm of many of these conditions so that we can help people evolve. I think our nature on this planet as humans, I think this planet is evolutionary innately, and I think humans are evolutionary innately, meaning that we adapt and we problem solve as we go, and things occur to us. I don't know necessarily where they come from, but there are individuals that, for lack of a better term, have either the capacity to solve a problem or they have uh, the vision to solve a problem. And I think maybe I'm one of those people that had the capacity. I do have the education and the background experience in alternative healthcare and as well as traditional healthcare. And I have an ability to put things together uh, in ways that maybe other people don't. So one of the main thing that I want to address in this video is the entrepreneurial, at least the starting point of an entrepreneurial journey. So we have a vision, we have a problem, right? We see a problem, we see where the pain point is, and then we have a creative vision that might solve that problem. So we kind of practice it depending on where we are in life uh, to see if anything comes out of it, if it's at all able to solve a problem or shift a paradigm. So then after we have that vision and we map that vision out and we test that vision, we have to set up ways that can be applied and systems can be adapted or developed so that we can reach many people. So the vision, my vision for Vibe Tribe was to really shift the paradigm of how we approach health and wellness in the world that we know. So another part of my experience was integral meta theory, and I believe that many of our issues, one, are stress induced. So if we address the stressors, but what is underlying stress is perception. What is underlying perception is the filters that we're screening information from. So those filters are in as defined in integral meta theory, are 4 dimensions of the human experience, which is the internal dimension or the mind, the physical dimension, which is the body and our perceptions relating the interrelationship mind and body, the external experience, which is the environment in which we live, which can include the institutional structures that we live within, such as government and maybe religion and any other structures, even our household, our community, anything that, our manufacturing structures, all those are environmental. And they, of course, environmental, we can traditionally think about nature and pollution and all that, but that's only a subset of what is deemed as the external experience within which we live. And then the relationship dimension, which is the internal experience of the experience of other. So those relationships can be, traditional marriage relationship, friendships. They can be, usually they're human, but it's also our relationship to things. So how do we interact with an object? How do we interact with identities? How do we interact with our understanding of how things interact with us, basically. So if we don't address all of those dimensions within the human experience, each dimension is interrelated somehow, so that if one dimension is not being attended to, such as environment, maybe somebody's in a very toxic environment, whether that's chemically toxic or emotionally toxic or spiritually toxic, that's going to affect every other dimension in our construct. So that's going to pull us down. So in order to affect real health and real wellness, we have to address all of those dimensions. So my thoughts, my vision is to create facilities that do address each of those dimensions in some way or another, whether it's interacting with the staff, what's that relationship like? If it's interacting with things that help the body, help the physical structure, help the wellness of that, entity of our human experience, whether it's, creating communities that one can interact with that help facilitate increase knowledge, increase awareness of different things that can affect the human experience in each of those dimensions. Whether it's increasing our understanding of how the body, how the mind, how the spirit, how the environment, how the relationships, all those things, how they affect our physical wellness. So creating a system that addresses all of those for the optimization of health and wellness is what my vision is. So we mapped out those things, and we, at this point in my journey, we figured out how to get conscious capital, and we've created business structures that integrate the community into each facility that we're going to open. And we have to create the systems now, all of the systems that we will need to replicate in order to make this system sustainable. So there's so many moving parts in the entrepreneurial journey, but it seems that my mind enjoys that level of complexity and that level of interrelationships of each of the areas. And there's certainly many things that I am missing. So we're going to start working on, envisioning who's going to be part of the team and, what they're going to look like and how they're going to integrate. So it's all exciting. It's all amazing. And it is a leap of faith and an exercise in surrender. So thanks for joining me today, and we'll see you next time.